I decided to do my media article presentation on an NPR article by Selena Simmons Duffins regarding LGBTQ protection and rights and how they diminished from the Obama administration to the Trump administration. Uh, it first regards Obama and what he did during his administration, and one of the biggest things he did was provide protection for transgender students in school environments. He accommodated for their names and pronouns, as well as their choosing of locker rooms and bathrooms regarding who they identified as. Earlier that year, national law came out called HB2 that required people to use bathrooms identifying with their gender from their birth certificate. This caused a lot of protest and financial backlash, and by him promoting this act in the schools, it kind of resurrected the transgender support and uproar our community as well as our country has supported. Then the article goes on to talk about Gavin Grimm's high school student, a transgender high school student who fought to use boy bathrooms rather than female bathrooms, and he went all the way to the Supreme Court, and he would not stand for a unisex one. He wanted to use the one he identified with. One of the biggest gripes about Obama was that his laws didn't take into account like women and people's protection and privacy. So a lot of them talked about how bathrooms were lacking privacy if transgender men came in or a transgender woman came into girls' bathrooms. They'd feel lack of protection. Then it kind of goes into Trump and how he took away all these acts that Obama pushed forward in the school environments, and immediately coming into his presidency, he rescinded all these school acts for transgender youth. And within the following year of his presidency, he took away Gavin Grimm's case off the Supreme Court. He used his ideology of supporting transgender people as well as LGBTQ people during his candidacy to gain votes. In July 2017, he sent out a tweet that transgender people cannot serve. In October 2017, the Department of Justice was told they can no longer support transgender people from employment segregation. And one of the biggest things Trump supported behind this was that Obama based his laws off of gender identity rather than biological sex, which in the Civil Rights Act was based on sex and not gender identity. So in the Civil Rights Act, employment segregation was the reasoning for the addition of not discriminating by sex while it was put in there, and it was originally seen as a joke. In 2011, Obama set to clarify this sex discrimination that we began in the Civil Rights Act. In 2016, he allowed servicemen to serve our countries openly, and it kind of concludes the article with this idea of whiplash that from the Obama administration to the Trump administration, there's almost like a quick flip of ideologies that our country focused on, from the high support and high protection that Obama was putting towards transgender support and benefits that he was providing for them, to Trump, who was quickly taking them all away and quickly retreating from what Obama put in place. And then it kind of based the last few paragraphs off these following Supreme Court cases, which all identified gay or transgender people being fired due to their sexual orientation or identity. And then it ends the article with a lady talking about sitcoms and how in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, sitcoms laughed at the people being dressed as girls and people being in same-sex relationships. But in today's day and age, it's not a joke anymore, and people are trying to fight for it. and Trump has taken away everything put in place within the past couple of years of the presidency before him. So.